What up, guys? Welcome to the Just Pearly Things YouTube channel, and welcome to another episode of Pearl Daily. I have heard your complaints. You guys said, Pearl, you're too much of a modern woman. Pearl, get back in the kitchen. Pearl. What are you doing all day? Tweet from the kitchen. Well, are you guys happy now? I am officially live from the kitchen, giving my perspective on society, the world, and everything. So, first I want to make sure that my audio is working because I know we've had a couple issues, and I just want to make sure. Please put a 1 in the chat if my audio is working and you heard that entire thing. Please put it in the chat. Second of all, I have a couple announcements. So, first announcement, I know I've talked about this before, but I am coming to the U.S. Because I am coming to the United States, I am traveling right now. So I've had some trouble streaming on the Audacity Network and YouTube. I'm sorry, guys. We just got to wait till I get back. But I would still really appreciate it if you guys signed up for the Audacity Network. It helps us support our documentary. The best thing you can do is get a year membership. If you enjoy the content, because we are demonetized, I have to pay people. I have to set up the new studio. It's really expensive. And I really want to get some big name guests. So if you want to support us, please sign up for the audacitynetwork.com. You'll also have access to our documentaries. Okay, 1 in the chat. Very great. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you. So before we get to the main topic today, I think I'm going to do a segment where I just go over my tweets for the day, because sometimes I think I sound more serious on Twitter than I am in real life. I think people take my tweets very seriously. I'm like 30 characters. Boom, tweet. Boom, tweet. Everyone's like, how do you tweet so much? It takes like 5 minutes. If you get a thought, tweet it. Tweet. But today I'm going to be talking about a debate I had with Sneako where I really cooked him. We're fans of Sneako on the show. We love Sneako, but I did cook him. And I wanted to bring up really what I was talking about. So first today, I want to bring up this chick, Hannah Cox. Now, Hannah Cox, I want to please clip this and send this to her. Hannah, you sound really stupid on Twitter. Look, you seem like a nice lady, but you sound really, really dumb. And I really just want to educate you more on just so you can understand a little bit better what you're talking about. So I'd like to debate, but I'm going to go over your tweet right now. So she says, and you can pull this up on the screen, red pill nonsense is most of what makes its way to Twitter. Really? Red pill isn't even mainstream. So that's just not correct. But it's, it's cool. It's fine. Whatever. Who cares? Is this still live? Yeah. Okay. We are, right? We're still live? Okay. But in the real world, divorce has been on a downtrend since 2008 and are at a 50-year low. In large part, it's due to people being more selective and marrying later in life. Who is being more selective, men or women? Who? She's actually reaffirming exactly what we talk about. Women are being more selective, and they are marrying later in life. But if in 2024, how do relationships happen? Because I know people say that men are in control of marriage, and they sort of are. But let's talk about the stages. How do most people meet nowadays? The number one way people are meeting is dating apps or IG. Now, I know everyone's saying men are in control of marriage. Oh, sort of. And I'm gonna get to it, guys. Sort of. Now, From what I've gathered from the men, women, us ladies, unless you're cream of the crop as a chick, unless you're amazing, you have approximately 3 dates to put out. Am I wrong, Jeremiah? Is that, am I exposing too much? I don't know. Who's in control of sex? Where relationships start, sex, okay, so you have 3 dates, then step 3. Talking phases / situationships. Now, I've heard these go on, someone said 2 dates. They said 3 is for simps. I don't know. You guys all have your own. I talked to one guy recently. He said he had an 80% close rate. That's pretty good, I think, right, guys? 80% date, All right, so you got the dating apps. Then you have 3 dates to put out. Then you have a talking phase or a situationship. Now, what is that? That's sex, but you're not my boyfriend or girlfriend. Now, this phase can go on about, I don't know. How long is too long for a talking phase? Can you guys put in the chat? I will say, I've heard guys, I think Myron says a year to talk to the chick before you make her. I think that's on the high end. I really do. I don't think most men made wait a year. I would say on average, it's 3 to 6 months. And this is what I call the men making sure you're not crazy before introducing you to his friends. He's got to make sure you're not going to be insane. They said 6 months max. Oh, okay. I get it. Different guys. But this is the phase where they say, let me make sure you're not crazy. Let me make sure there's no hidden stuff that I got to be worried about. Let me make sure, I see who your friends are, what you're about. Let me see what you're like when you're angry. Talking phase, okay? Now, I'm not saying that this is good or bad. I'm saying this is from interviewing 1,000 people. This is what tends to happen. Now, this is the relationship phase 4. Did I skip anything, guys, in the chat? They said a year, Matt. All right. You guys do it longer. Okay, I don't know. So now the relationship phase. Some men, this is the highest you can get. They are never getting married. They're never having kids. So for some guys, this is it. Now, recently in 2024, now let's assume a woman does it the right way and actually stays with let's assume she's not a single mother, okay? She has a kid with a guy she's either in a relationship or married. Next is marriage, and I'm going to put marriage / kids. So marriage and kids, some guys, they say you got to get a kid, then you can get a ring. That's when you see the 10-year relationships turn into marriage. Some guys, it's marriage, then it depends on the guy. It really depends. What is the time span of this? I would say dating app or IG. I think usually if the chick doesn't meet you right away, she just never will. So I think that's what I've gathered. You got to do it immediately. So let's just say 2 weeks talking, you set up a date. 3 dates. So let's say you do a date a week, right? I mean, you're not head over heels. Let's say this whole phase is like a month, let's say. Now the situationship, let's say it's the high end. Let's go 6 months. The relationship on average right now is 3 years. A 3-year relationship before marriage and kids. So, we're looking at a 4-year process to get a ring. I think women, we got to know this, adjust our expectations here. No, a year is too much. Some say a year makes sense. I don't know. I'm just I'm just reporting the news. Do you guys think I'm wrong on this? This seems to be the. Did I miss anything, Jeremiah? Did I know? Okay. So women have the most power at 22. We choose not to marry. Men are opting out of the dating marketplace earlier than women. Okay. So older generations were and continue to be far more likely to divorce. Well, I guess what generation? If you're born in the 1920s or 30s, that would not be the case. But they're all dead now anyway. But I'm just saying, how old are we going here? They're more likely to divorce because they're including people that have been married less than 10 years, less than 20 years. So from my research, the years that tend to pop up for divorces, let me find it. Got to pull it up. It's on my phone. I know one is 7 years. 1 second. Okay. 7 years, 13 years, 21 years, and 24 years. Mind you guys, a quarter of divorces are at 21 years and 24 years. So you could be an old man or an old lady and you're not even safe. I know. So yeah, the other thing she's not including is that before you didn't have to go through a 4-year process in order to get married. 100 years ago, it was 3 months. Now, bitches, we got to put in 4 years. This is good for the younger ladies to know. Yeah, this is good for the younger. Start sooner because your ass has got 4 years before you get a ring on average. Now, you might get a guy that's, goes quicker than this. But for the guys that really know what's going on, they're taking their sweet time because they have it. That's what they have. Okay. So really, when she says people are being more selective, it's women that are being more selective because who is in control of this whole process? Now, you could argue that the men maybe control the length of this process, right? The men control how long this process takes. But the women control who starts this process. The women control sex. So the women are the ones starting this, and you can't get to here without starting here. So who's being more selective? Women. Okay. And, this is why I say, if a guy, ladies, and I'm just being honest here, if a guy's talking to like 3 women at the same time. Now, I know this is hard to hear. I would suggest, from my point of view, not really worrying about the other chicks. I know, Pearl, you're so evil. Okay, I'm just being honest. Look it. Either date a guy you're not that attracted to, or if you choose a guy you're attracted to, let's say there's 3 other women that you're sharing a guy with. What are the odds that all the other chicks are going to do 4 years? Women don't stick around. I'm hearing from men that they get sex easier than relationships nowadays. That it's harder to find, that it's easy. That this, I hear, this is easy. This is hard for them. They're like, I just want a chick that doesn't leave. This is what I'm hearing. So really, if anyone's afraid of this, it's us women. We're the ones, we project it. We say that men have commitment issues. Now, the men might have commitment issues, okay? They really might. But the reason they have commitment issues is because they got to this stage, then this stage with a chick. Then they got to this stage. And honestly, guys get kind of attached, I would say, at step 3. Guys are a little different. They're like good people. So, I mean, they might, once you get to this stage at like 6 months, let's say, guys, they feel some ownership, attachment, even if she's kind of a whore. Like, there's this guy I I went to a PUA conference, right? And this was a guy that like, I don't know. I saw him take home 3 different women in the same weekend. Okay. I did like, I went to this like pickup conference. It's a long story. I don't really want to go into it, but he told me that when women get to hear and hear, even if he doesn't want marriage and kids with them, he still feels some type of way that they went and married someone else. I mean, this is the attachment for guys, right? I mean, they can get to hear and hear. It's like, all right, cool. But when you get to hear and hear, like after a couple months, they're kind of in it. And if you stick around long enough, it depends on the guy, right? Because some guys, but I would say the majority you'll get to hear. Now, I forgot where I was going with that. So really, once you get to hear, the reason men have commitment issues is because they've had a chick get to hear and they thought it was going well. They even started seeing the end. They started seeing the kids. They were ready with the ring. They're like, all right, you've been in it for a while. I can finally give you what I would think you would want. I was told you guys want. And then the women say, nah, let me start here. Let me start here with the new guy. And the guys are like, what the F? And so they keep saying, okay, you know what? They're like, all right, how can I not get left? And they just keep, men are problem solvers. So some men say, you know what? Let me try here in a different country. Let me see if that works. Let me try here. Let me try here with a chick with 2 parents. Okay, shit, that didn't. Let me try here with a different race, maybe. Oh, shit, that didn't work either. Let me try here with, that girl's like the quiet girl in church. Let me see. Oh, she was worse. Ah! So, the men are problem solvers. So what they do is they just keep increasing this. Because the other thing is, other women make it worse for us. I want us to learn this, okay? Because they'll see another woman. So all these women leaving their husbands and marriages, they make it harder for us because men take notes. They see this was so long. They see a guy that took 10. I'll give you my trainer, okay, in London. He told me a story of his friend who this whole process, he finally married this chick after 10 years. I mean, a chick that puts in 10 years, she's here to stay, right, guys? She's totally not leaving. Guess what happened in the next year? So then, other guys see men take a decade to do that. And they say, shit, I gotta up this, right? Okay, but back to this tweet. I want to tell you guys what's going on. So the divorce rate is heavily skewed by divorces, remarrying, and divorcing again. But you guys did not include the future divorces, the projections. Now, I want a lot of you guys. So if the average age of first marriage is 30, I just want to think through some of these. What? Okay. Huh? Okay. So now let's say, so the average age of first marriage is 30. So the men used to say, yeah, we want a fresh, young 22-year-old. I want a chick who is 22 and ready to mingle. And the women said at 22, they said, nah, we're not doing that. You want us to be mothers? Screw that. No way. I'm not doing that. And the men said, all right, fine. Can we at least do 27? And for a while, sorry, fellas, I'm 27. For a while, the women said, all right, we're going to marry at 27. But now it's really going older. I'm seeing people really 30 to 35 is that's what's happening. Now, I forgot where I was going with this. Oh, So there's a study that says after 5 sexual partners, a woman is ruined. Naski, nada, that like basically we have a 20% chance of success. Okay. Now, how many sexual partners does a woman have by 30? Now, we will never know. This has been disputed from millennia. But let's say the average age people lose their virginity is 16. And let's say we'll give a chick 2 years of celibacy in this. You know, I'm gonna be so kind. And let's say she has 2 years of celibacy. You know what? Let's do 16 to 30 is 14 years. It's a long time, 14 years. Okay. Now, pair bonding is hammered by 4.5. Okay, we're going to go 5. Okay. So 14 years. Let's say she's in 2-year relationships and a year of celibacy in between. I think that's generous. Jeremiah, that would be generous, right? All right. So, wait, so that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12. That's 13. That's 4.5 sexual partners. Now, this could be offset. So basically, on average, we're all fucked. 20% future chance of a happy relationship. We're done. Cooked. We should all just expect to be single parents and unhappy. Now, I'm not happy about, you find out these numbers and you're not like, yay, woo. But really, for women, I think as women, we got to have the conversation, do we qualify for marriage? And overwhelmingly, the majority of us do not. I could prove that statistically. The majority don't. So many of us will be in long-term relationships. That's probably the future for most women. Okay? Deal with it. Get over it. I don't know what to tell you. All right. So the divorce rate in the U.S. is heavily skewed by divorces, remarrying, and okay, I read that. 74% of Americans, or about 98 million, say they are happily married. Well, what defines happy? How do you measure that? Because happiness is an emotion. It comes and it goes. Just today, I've gone from pissed off to really happy. I'm a fucking woman. I got some, news earlier. I was pissed. Now I'm happy. Like, how do we, All right. I think, a better measurement. Did we turn the AC off in here? It is hot. I think it's off. I think a better measurement would be what percent of us are in shape after 50 years, 40 years, 30 years, 20. I mean, who's happy screwing a fat person? Is anybody like, yay? Is anyone, yay, I'm so happy. I'm having sex with a fatty. All right. Marriage is a stronger predictor of well-being than education, race, age, or gender. Well, what do they mean by well-being? And wouldn't it stand to reason that the people with the best education, overall stats, would get married? Isn't that who you are marrying, who you marry and marrying at the right time for you are some of the most important decisions you can ever make. But as a whole, marriage is thriving. Yeah, then why do 5 people, I don't know how women say these stats so confidently. Yeah, marriage is thriving, and that's why 5 out of every 1,000 people get married. That sounds like they're just busting down the door, hoping. Don't let them convince you otherwise. One important step that contributes significantly to divorce and should be avoided: a partner high on neuroticism. Okay, and then this is back to the shame. Negative emotions included irritability, blah, blah, blah. Sounds like many of the men I see in the red pill sphere. Well, chica, I would say most of the men that are in relationships in the red pill sphere, I know them personally. Most of them are either have multiple women or have a lot of them have long relationships. Yeah, so you can pull this down. I just thought this was hilarious. And so, Chica. Oh, wait, keep going. I forgot that because this was ridiculous. Because this has been debunked so frequently. I didn't think I still had to help people with the basics. Did you, Hannah? Really? Like this is the confidence of our female political commentators. This is their confidence. 70% of women file the paperwork because they're married to deadbeats. The number one reason is irreconcilable differences. Oh my goodness. I hate these women. Please learn how to interpret basic stats before jumping into internet discussions. Idiot. God, these women are so dumb. So that was, I'm going to come back to that one. So I want to go through, let's see what other tweets I should go through today. This is what we're going to react to in a second, but. Oh, I thought this was funny. Yeah, they're freaking out because I called these old ladies trailer trash. I mean, I don't know if they are or they're not. They look and act like it. These women, they've been coming after me for 2 years. I'm going to roast you. I don't care. Yep. They're like, oh, Pearl, you can't help that we talk about you. I'm like, you guys have come after my family, my exes, my everything in my life. I'm going to call you trailer trash. That is exactly what these women are. Let's see. Let's see if there's any other ones I want to go through. Nope, that's after since I'm live. Yeah, I mean, they're like 40. They're, oh, and this is why they're getting mad. So, all right. The greatest power to women is men not knowing how much we suck. I know. Sorry, ladies. So ever since we were in preschool, women have been told that we're princesses, the greatest thing since sliced bread, and amazing. And we have convinced men of this too. You will even see men say, I want a career woman. I've heard men say this. I mean, Jeremiah, can I get a water? Sorry. So now, right now, the average wife is 30 years old. By 30, 90% of your eggs are gone. Sorry, ladies. On top of that, she's 5'4", I think, 5'4" to 5'6". I don't know the average height. She's 170 pounds. Okay, so fat, 30. That's considered old. We try to say that we're young, but And on top of that, I mean, argumentative, high body count, etc. And so what you'll see is anytime any of this is revealed, and I have to say, hey, your wife had a buzzer beater pregnancy. Or, hey, your wife definitely settled for you. She would not have picked you at 22. She would not have. Or if I say, hey, ladies, we're kind of old and fat, argumentative. Or, hey, women have high body counts nowadays. That's why you're here. Not all women are like that. Because this cannot be revealed. If this is revealed, then do you know what that means? Men will say, hey, oh, we don't have to do this. Is this worth it? Men will say, did I make a bad choice marrying my wife? Or if I say, hey guys, if you get married, you are legally at a disadvantage. The more that this is revealed, the more you see women, it's a frowny face, crying and getting mad at me. They're saying, Pearl, wait, don't tell him that. Don't say that. And because if men have to, if this is revealed, right? Then, women might have to bring other things to the table. And that, so, let's say you're looking for a buzzer beater pregnancy. You have two options, okay? You can, but let's go from the women's point of view. Hold on, I need to. Okay, you know what? I'm going to do this in a Google Doc. I think it'll be easier. Let me just wait a second. Okay, let's say you're an old, all right, let me put the font up so people can see it. Okay, great. Is my screen showing now? Now, let's say you're a 35-year-old, fat, career woman. Argumentative. Let's just say we're the average American woman. You have a couple choices here. You could compete for the men you want. I'm a firm believer that women are so bad that you can actually, maybe not if you have herpes, or maybe not if, there's some situations, but if you're STD clean, if you're, you don't have porn on the internet, corn, if, really at any age, you can compete ish. If you're cute enough, there's a lot of factors. For the most part, you're cooked. But so you could compete for the men you want, or settle for a man you do not want. Okay, those are your. Oh, I see him in the corner, so I'll make. Okay, I'll make this a little smaller. Now, because now I'm going to make this font let's make it 20. So it's all right. If you compete for the man you want, this would require you to lose weight, learn skills. Now, these skills could differ. It could be cooking, but some men, I was talking to Myron's girlfriend in Miami, and I'm interviewing women that seem to be in happy relationships about what they all do for their boyfriends and husbands. A decent amount of men that make a lot of money really don't want to be cooked for. They know they're competent guys. So a lot of them know how to cook, especially if they're imagine if a guy made it to 40 or 50. You don't think he taught, a smart guy, you don't think he taught himself how to cook? But some guys do. Some guys do. Okay. Cooking, being helpful. I have one chick that learned marketing to be with her man. Let me drink some water. Yeah, cleaning. Put some more stuff in the chat. We're open to suggestions. Food shopping. Yeah, I know men are better cooks than women. Yeah, W Angie. Learning not to be a bitch. Learning to be a nice person. Maybe, I don't know how to spell this, but etiquette. There's so many different ways. Someone said bookkeeping. You can cook 50 dishes and you're a guy. Yeah. Yeah, see, Angie helps Myron a lot. No, she does, but I don't think it's mostly cooking. Based on, what she said, it was more other, I think she helps manage his properties. I think that's what she does a lot. Yeah, laundry. I'm going to make this little. I don't know what you're reading. how to proper, maybe how to boil an egg. Okay, that's like the bare minimum. That's not even hard. Steam cleaning suits. I mean, that's decent. Steam cleaning suits. Okay, maybe fashion for the, some guys care about fashion. And that's why I say it depends, because in 2024, guys, men can cook in an air fryer. I don't see that. I think, being a nice person is a lot higher to men than cooking. I don't see cooking being like, being respectful. Okay. So this is option 1. You would lose weight, learn skills. Hire a matchmaker because it's gonna be tough. Learn where the men you like hang out and find them. Clear your social media. Cut your guy friends. Stop being a whore. So you could, so a lot, women, it's like we could, 30, I'm going to go to 30. We could compete for the men that we want, but most women look at this and say, nah, I would rather, at the buzzer beater time, settle for a man I do not want and would not have chosen at 22. Now, guys, it's not necessarily about the age. It's about, would you have picked that same guy at 22, 20, whatever it was? Share phone. Oh, share phone passwords. Oh, yeah, sorry. Stop being a whore, except for your man. Learn what he likes in bed. I forgot. That's important to men. Oh, sorry. This one's hard for me. I won't lie to you. Learn how to shut up. That's a hard one, Okay. So the issue now, settling for a man you don't want would not really be the end of the world if we were better actresses. I mean, guys can get over that if we could just, I don't know, stop being so obvious about it and letting everybody know. Give you an example. I was on a show recently. This chick thought it was acceptable to talk about how she was better at like hand-eye coordination than her husband. Why? Why would that be a good idea to talk about how you're better at stuff than your husband? That's like me. Okay, let's put this in a job boss context. If I go to work and someone is in, like, let's just say another manager's in, I could talk about how my boss is awesome, or I could talk about how I'm better at everything in the office than my boss. What's going to win more brownie points? Now, again, I just look for patterns, okay? I'm not, So again, step 2 is settle for a man that you do not want. Now, if women do this, their worst fear is me. I am their worst fear because I point out, oh, this is a buzzer beater baby. Or I point out, oh, men want young, hot wives, not old, average-looking wives, old, fat, average-looking wives. If you're going to be average-looking, they want us at 22. And if you are an old, average-looking wife, they think, oh, I hope she's in, great shape, or at least, maybe she's got some skills, or I don't know, maybe, she's like a kind person, or I don't know, maybe she's got this other stuff. But we're overwhelmingly not bringing that other stuff. Men used to date older women, not because they were more attracted to them, but because, they had a decade and they could learn all of this stuff. But now we can't even learn this stuff. So if a woman does settle for a man she does not want, he cannot find out. That's devastating. If he finds out, all of my exes looked like this, but you look like that. Bad. He can't, that information. And the thing is, men do not know their value in this society. And they won't know it till shit starts to fall apart, and then we need a man. So yeah, I think that's pretty much, it for this section. Older women think that you are after their money. Older women want companionship. Yeah, and that's why they hate me, because I'm pointing out to their husbands and the world, yeah, men don't want 40-year-old wives. That's not really what they're looking for. Men don't want 30-year-old wives. That's not what they're looking. They'll take them. But, you better be bringing all this other stuff to the table. And you should be treating him like a king. Because truly, I just want to be honest, ladies, we're really not the shit. Myself included. Most of us are just, average looking women that weren't raised to be wives. That's just kind of how it is. Whatever, live with it and just improve. That's all you can do in life. But instead of saying, you know what? Thanks, Pearl, for this information. I'm going to improve. They say, Pearl, you're so evil. You're so mean. You're the worst. Well, kiss my ass, bitches. I don't really give a shit. Okay, so I got a little off track. Heidi says, I'm average AF. I'll admit it. Thanks. You're coming closer to a collab every day, Heidi. But no, you're still a lesbo. Stay away. I'm not looking for lesbian friendships. You guys are weird. I don't want to be hit on. I need like an arm's length. I need away. Away. I know they keep going after my mother. I hate these bitches. I hate these bitches. Yeah, Heidi, I'll tell you what Heidi did. She says, why does Pearl hate women? Well, bitch, I hate women that tweet at me 24/7. Get the F out of my face. Then the next day she says, let's collab. This is what these whores do. This is what they do. They talk shit for months, sometimes years, and then they say, come on my show. Bitch. Oh, yeah. I need you to work for it, Heidi. Okay, so now I want to talk. Now I'm going back. All right. I need to go to Rumble. I have the timestamp. Now, guys, this stream, I'm hoping it doesn't get taken down. I don't know if it will or if it won't, but I think I can react to Rumble clips. I think I can. I guess I'm going to find out. I recently debated Sneako, and I really cooked him. I cooked his ass. Now, the issue that I get, and I've done this before too, so I'm not even going to completely cook it. I would always say women shouldn't vote and that we shouldn't, but it's not going to happen. So every time I go on these stupid streams with people that are overly religious. You guys annoy the hell out of me because I want to talk about predictions for the future, what's going to happen, and assuming none of these things change dramatically, which I wouldn't predict they will, I want to talk about what is going to happen and what to do about it in this society. Now, and when I say what to do about it, I mean I can give policy prescriptions, but I wouldn't predict them. I always make that preface. And because of this, Sneako, we don't show my screen yet because actually I wanna do two ones. Yeah, I will in a second. I want to show the original. I want to show me cooking him twice. Now, I just knew I did Fresh and Fit the other day. And by the way, guys, when I was on Fresh and Fit, Myron kicked out this chick. She deserved to be kicked out. She was playing the racism card on X. Get the F out of my face. You were absolutely batshit insane for 2 hours. I would have kicked you out like an hour before he did. He was patient, okay? But yeah, so Pearl destroys Sneako. I did. And I'm going to show you guys this clip. I would have kicked you out like an hour before he did. He was patient. Oh, I forgot, guys. I got to turn off. I think. Hold on. Wait. You can take it off. Oh, now we go. Okay.
Oranges to apples, like they're completely different men and women.
Oh, wait. I got to stop 2Xing. You guys are normal people. All right.
Men are from Mars and women are from Jupiter.
So okay,
let men go to Jupiter to get more
God
stupider.
He made us stupider.
My opinion is that women are weaker vessels. We just cannot do things the same way that men can. And the reason I came to this opinion was I was trying to find one thing that women do better that's backed up by fact. So, like for example,
Makeup.
Maybe, but gay guys.
One thing women do better is complain, lie, and manipulate. That's what I have, by the way.
The industry when there's money at the end.
No, it's not hating on Sneako. I gotta take this victory lap because I did cook. We love Sneako's a friend of the show. We love Sneako, but I will cook because I know I'm right on this. Sorry, I'm sorry, Sneako. I'm very sorry, but I gotta go in. I was right, I got a victory lap. I need to.
James Charles is the top YouTuber for makeup.
Yeah. Well, that's just because they're men and male privilege. So
no, it's because men work harder and they're smarter. Like that's what I think it is.
All right.
And the one that I always heard the most was nurturing. Women are more nurturing, but it's not true. Women are the most likely one to kill infants. They're the most likely ones to kill the elderly, and they're the most likely ones to abuse children. So this was like a year. I was like anything. Can anyone think of anything and that I can back up by data?
I believe on the women abusing children part, but I don't know about the other things that you were saying.
The elderly.
Did you give up on being a woman?
And no, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think that in the same way that adults are more competent than children. Oh shit, sorry guys.
Oh god.
Sorry. But in the same way that adults are more competent than children, like men are just more competent than women.
Maybe is it because they've gotten more allowances to be more confident and
no,
more...
I think
that's what I'm saying.
No, I think it's more different.
I don't know.
We have jobs that are, I'm sorry, this was me. But we have jobs that are given to us for being a woman. We have scholarships that are given to us by being a woman. Like I think women have far more opportunity than men.
This is the one thing.
And even if we get married, like you can put a guy in alimony, you can put a guy in child support. Like I can't think of a single disadvantage you have being a woman. And even in history, like we weren't required to go to war. Like men at a young age oftentimes had to go to war. Women didn't. The first female property owner was in the 1600s.
It depends on what country.
Well, I'm not talking about the country. I'm talking about the U.S., U.K. maybe. But the first female property owner was in the 1600s. Like, there's all this idea that women were oppressed throughout history. It's just not true.
But what about these weak-ass men that rely on women for money?
That's a small subset. That's not
a majority. That's a small percentage.
Yes,
well,
it is.
I will say I do notice a trend of OnlyFans workers dating broke men because they kind of have to make up. No offense, but for like.
No,
I was cooking. I don't know what you could call that. Now, this is, Sneako comes in. I feel a little bad for this cooking I got to do right now. But he's about to simp. It's about to simp. We're about to try to hide truth from women to spare feelings. That's what he's about to do.
I understand that because I have done that before too.
Yeah. And high earning women do it. Another trend I see in London is a lot of lawyers earn pretty highly, and they tend to date like personal trainers. They'll date like the hot guy. Yeah.
Yes.
Pearl, stop making women look bad. Don't do it. Don't.
The majority, it's a minority.
It's a very minority.
Yeah, because most women don't earn much. And
I know how to cook in many ways. Look I could cook in the kitchen at least above average. I mean, I'm not a chef, but I can cook on the grill. I can cook in a skillet. I could cook in the oven. And I could also cook on these podcasts. Hello.
And have a ton of debt. They're not great with money. I seriously, I didn't start this way, but I just was trying to think of anything women did better. I started looking at our jobs. We have way more jobs that are useless. Men have jobs that are useful in general.
Have you looked into the wine industry?
Besides blowjobs.
No, I don't. I don't know.
I'd love to tell you about. Have you heard of Veuve Clicquot?
I don't know what that is.
So Veuve Clicquot is a champagne. It's the biggest champagne house in the world. I'm sure you've all had a glass of Veuve Clicquot.
This bitch thought she was saying something. I looked up this guy or this chick that she's talking about. She inherited that like whatever it was from her husband, and most of the inventions were before he died. I hate these bitches. I hate these. Yeah.
No.
What that means? Oh no, go to Total Wine. What Veuve Clicquot means is widow Clicquot.
Mm-hmm.
So she was the widow of the maison of the champagne house. He died, and
she's
she
so dumb. I gotta skip over this. She thinks she's saying something.
Given the opportunity to innovate.
All right. She thinks she's saying something. She's
It doesn't make a difference.
Most of the
But
people
operate fine without it. Where the inventions that men make and the jobs that men do, we could not live without.
Pearl, this is the one thing that I think
So he's saying, you're looking, this is the one thing, stop, Pearl.
holds back your argument. I think you touch the truth on so many subjects, but like harboring on this is like it angers women, and then men are like, yeah, we are more competent. And I think if you explain it differently, like, yeah, men are more competent.
Okay, so right there, he admits. Explain it differently because it hurts women's feelings. Sneako, I gotta answer. No. No, I can't. I won't, because I gotta say what's true.
In every single field, we make more money. We're supposed to. We're the provider. But like addressing it by saying like men are better than women, I think holds it back because we complement each other. Like it's not like you're.
Yes, we do.
So I believe that there's a natural order in the world. Okay, it goes God, men, women, children. This is just what I believe. Okay. Now, when you say we're complementarian or whatever, to me, that suggests that we're here. We are equally valuable. I say no. I say men are better at everything. They have to, I think you should, men, you got to teach us how to parent. They got to teach us how to be good people. That's just what I think. Okay. No, I'm not pro burqa. Do you know what I mean? It's not.
Okay, you don't. But I'm saying, like, men are always going to be better at most things. You're measuring women's success and ability based on men's standards. Like we're gonna dominate in sports. We're gonna dominate in business.
No,
we're gonna
I didn't.
dominate.
That's not true. I said nurturing. I said men are still better at raising.
Because that's a typical female standard. Okay.
Men are better at raising children statistically.
That's
not true.
I can't.
He says that's not true. Look at this confidence. I know he doesn't know what he's talking about. I know, like, this is me, like, why do you so confidently say that when you're wrong? This is what I'm thinking there.
You're wrong. I'm telling you, you're wrong.
Nurturing.
Could you
Listen, let me finish. You're wrong. If we include first the most dangerous place a kid can be is where? In the mother's womb. 1 out of women have an abortion.
I was trying to say 1 out of 3. But I tripped over.
But if you don't believe in that, fine. In the first year,
That's not what nurturing
in the
is.
first year, women are the most likely ones to kill children. It's almost unheard of for a man to kill a child. So this idea that women are nurtured, it's just not true. Women are the most likely ones to abuse children. They're the most likely ones to abuse the elderly.
Even Myron was like, "Is she? Wait, what? I don't know. I don't know if this was new to Myron or not."
Kill the elderly, kill children. These are just facts.
Let's look at that on the flip side of how many
Wait, I'm not done. If we look at single mother homes versus single father homes fare basically the same as two parent homes for single mother homes. So this is just facts. And I don't really care how it makes people feel if I'm right. It's true.
Well,
Yeah, you see that's the face of someone who just got. I need to get like a pan or something in here. Cooked.
be facts, but I think let's maybe look at the circumstances, because what you are saying is correct. Women suffer from postpartum depression because, let's think about it, men are said to excel outside of the home. Women, especially nowadays, a lot of women have a career.
This chick thinks she's saying things. I don't care about this chick.
Do with the amount of
We're gonna skip because I'm really just talking about conversations
now.
with Sneako. We don't care. We don't care about this dumb hoe. Okay, wait, we go back.
World population. A 7.
But I want to figure out, like, what's...
The nurturing gender said wah to aborting. I think it's an 1/8, actually, of the world population. The nurturing gender!
But I want to figure out, when you talk about this...
They said, Pearl, you got it wrong. God, men, dogs, women, children. You guys are funny.
What are you trying to get to? Like, you're saying we don't need women? What's the...
But so this is the lack of computing. Fact that makes women look bad or less competent. So we don't need women? Not really. Not outside of reproduction, no. I think society would function fine. I think men would be less motivated. We wouldn't have as much like cool shit. But I think men are explorers. They'd probably go do some dumb shit like do that submarine thing to the bottom of the ocean or like explore a mountain. I mean, maybe not dumb, but this is what I would predict if women disappeared tomorrow. I mean, men would be far less motivated, but like maybe they would start screwing each other, building sex dolls. I don't really know. But outside of the sex and reproduction, I mean, no, I don't really think they need us like that.
Saying that men are better.
I mean, the point is that, well, one, I use that a lot in custody arguments. I think men should automatically...
Yeah, because we believe this. Remember, we had the tender years. I think they actually abolished it, but we had the tender years doctrine, which assumed that our kids were better with children up to the age of 7, sometimes up to the age of 16. So because we keep repeating women are nurturing, this leads to laws that are sexist.
Custody of children.
They said you're talking about men who don't work hard. Well, true, but I think many men work super hard to pay for their wife's spending habits, for example. But I do think like the men like Donald Trump that just like want to build the world or, I think they would keep doing what they're doing anyway. So...
Okay, that sounds crazy.
No, because the kids, why would you not do what's in the best interest of the child? You give it to the dad. And the reason we keep having this thing where we say women are nurturing, women live in reality, and we make laws based on what's true. Because when you have this stuff where we keep repeating something that's not true, that's how you have 90% of custody going to women because everyone believes they're more nurturing. They're not.
You think men are going to be able to breastfeed a baby better?
Okay, so I like how he brought up the one thing that men can't do. But you know what Sneako, they invented bottles. And even with bottle feeding, the men's kids still turn out better. That's the funny thing.
Come on, no. Certain things I can't agree to.
Well, they're less likely to abuse the children. They're less likely to kill the children. I mean, okay,
that's not true.
There's a story in the news. I'll give you an example of how this plays out.
Abuse is an outlier.
Okay. Oh, this is all an outlier. It's like it like doesn't compute. 1 out of 3 women by the age of 45 will have an abortion. What? But women are so nurturing. Oh my God, I feel like I'm talking to a wall sometimes.
It's a lot of men that abuse.
It's not an outlier.
Their
If you,
children that are women.
but if you go back to single father versus single mother home, single dad home, single father homes fare the same. Abuse is not an outlier. It's very common. I mean, there's just a story in the news of. I mean, you saw that 3-year-old that the mother took.
Sometimes even you go way too far. Like you gotta calm down.
But again, why they're getting mad is because when something is revealed that is bad about women, it makes men think, I'm not even getting a chick that's good with kids. I'm naturally better with the kids. Oh my gosh. Maybe this isn't worth it. Maybe women aren't as valuable as I thought. So the women, they're getting mad because I am revealing what is true.
It's not too far. It's true. You can laugh all you want, but it's true.
Now this is the white knight. The white knight.
Hold on, Sneako, hold on for 1 second.
And the thing is,
how does she go too far? How does she?
Even Myron is like.
Curiosity, because she just stated a bunch of
women
statistics.
and men can abuse children equally.
Right. Show us the statistics.
You keep saying they've been looking at the numbers.
He's yapping. My God.
You know, it's interesting because when
I'm finding the stat. This is the thing, guys. Sometimes I can't recite off the top of my head where I get it from, but I can always tell you. Like, I can always get it if you give me 5 minutes, but sometimes it's hard.
Sneako, when Pearl was talking before, Sneako was listening intently, and then the girls would interrupt. And then now, when it's the girls' turn up, dance.
That's true.
Why do you think she's going too far when she stated a bunch of numbers?
Well, we all know her.
Yeah, we don't care what this dumb whore thinks.
Fine.
We don't care what this dumb whore thinks. We don't care.
It's on Rachel.
Another dumb whore.
It's a government-done study over the last 100 years, or it's either 50 to 100 years. I can pull it up. I'm not making.
Yeah, you see this? Face of someone who got cooked.
Up. And the thing is, I've seen how this stuff plays out, and and like
okay, blah blah. All right, so this is what I was referring to when I cooked him again. Should I react to this whole thing? It's 7 p.m. I think I have it in me. Maybe I'll react to the full. F it.
Our good friend Lauren Chen, we enjoy her appearances on this stream over here. And
Heidi, stop trying to butter me up. You started this beef. You started it. You said, Pearl, why do you hate women? You slandered me. You started with slander. I don't hate women. I hate dumb women. And a lot of women are dumb. That's not my fault. I didn't make our gender this way. I get so excited when I meet a woman that's half smart and half not a complete cunt bitch. I love them when I meet them. I just never meet them. It's like when I met Rachel Wilson, that bitch is awesome. I get so excited to see her. She's amazing. But my God, our gender, it's just, it's like, I feel like I talk to children 24/7.
Even we debated, and Pearl's been texting me saying, I'm cooking.
I did. I had to be honest. That I was cooking. COOKING. Keep cooking in the kitchen.
Thank you. I cooked you because I knew you were
me on
wrong.
what? Cook me on what? Okay.
Confident. You were so confident in being right on that, and I knew you were wrong.
What did you cook? What did you cook me on, Pearl? By the way, you should just cook dinner and stop trying to cook on debates. But yeah, what did you cook?
Dinner every day.
How do you guys eat? That's my question. Like, how else do you guys eat dinner? I mean, Sneako can probably eat out every day, but I'm demonetized. Please go to theaudacitynetwork.com and sign up for my memberships, please. I lose money every month. Okay. I can't, I gotta eat. Like, what the?
I love cooking. So.
What did you cook exactly? And then we'll get into.
I mean, you get a skillet. You can do damn near anything. Like you could put veggies on it. You could, and a pot. It's like.
Jen.
I cooked you because
Pearl. Alex Stein said he'd wear blackface if you date him. What? All right, someone messaged me on Twitter that clip. I'll react to it.
I was going over the stats that women are more violent than men, and you wanted to deny reality regardless of the stats. And you said because it hurts women's feelings, we shouldn't talk about that.
I did not say that.
I mean, he sort of did. I mean, let me go back. He's saying here, I did not say that. Let's roll the tape. Let's roll the tape. Okay, where does he start talking? All these dumb hoes would talk. Okay, that's where he starts.
But we have jobs that are given to us for being a woman. We have scholarships that are given to us by being a woman. Like, I think women have far more opportunity than men.
This is the one thing.
And even if we get married, like, you can put a guy in alimony, you can put a guy in child support. Like, I can't think of a single disadvantage you have being a woman. And even in history, like, we weren't required to go to war. Like, men at a young age oftentimes had to go to war.
So you remember, this is the simping. Sorry, Sneako. I'm sorry. The simping.
Didn't. The first female property owner was in the 1600s.
Look at, I'm just fact.
Country.
Well, I'm not talking about the country. I'm talking about the US, UK maybe. But the first female property owner was in the 1600s. Like, there's all this idea that women were oppressed throughout history. It's just not true.
What? Men that rely on women for money.
That's a small subset. That's not the majority.
That's a small percentage.
Yes,
well, I mean, have to make up. No offense, but for like
dumb hoes,
I see in London. Yeah.
Yes.
But it's not the amount of debt.
Okay.
But I just useless. No, I don't.
So vote click.
No.
What that means. So.
Oh my God.
Opportunity.
But here's the thing.
Okay, where the hell
make a difference?
Most of the people do.
Oh my God, when does Sneako start debating?
I
just want to go back.
I think you touch the truth on so many subjects, but like harboring on this is like it angers women, and then men are like, yeah, we are more competent. And I think if you explain it differently, like, yeah, men are.
He said he didn't do it.
What did you cook exactly? And then we'll get into Lauren Chen.
I cooked you because I was going over the stats that women are more violent than men, and you wanted to deny reality regardless of the stats.
Maybe he said communicate differently.
More competent in every single field. We make more money. We're supposed to. We're the provider. But like addressing it by saying like men are better than women, I think holds it back because we complement each other. Like,
I don't think we complement each other. I don't, okay. Again, word for word. I couldn't remember at the time word for word.
Because it hurts women's feelings, we shouldn't talk about that.
I did not say that.
You didn't say that word. We could react to it.
What we debated. Look at Pearl pressing me. I'll pull it up in a second, Pearl. I'll pull it up in a second. My argument is that women are supposed to be nurturing. I didn't say that. It had nothing to do with you. Your arguments always go from like feelings over facts. I'm saying that women should nurture.
Facts over feelings. I said we're not nurturing. We're not more nurturing.
So women are not nurturing.
We're not more nurturing than men. Men are better with children. That's fact.
Okay, so what's the purpose of women?
So I hate these. I'm going to tell you why I hate these questions. What the hell is the purpose of that woman that was fighting chicks on that show? What's the purpose of Oprah? What's the purpose of Taylor Swift? What's the purpose? I don't know. Depends on your religion, right? What religion are you? And it's just, we could say what outcomes would be better for society, what would increase the birth rate. But that's such a subjective question that I don't enjoy those. They're not my favorites, okay?
I have a hard time with those questions, and I'll tell you why.
Okay, here we go.
No. Because sometimes I think you guys turn into preachers.
Someone said Sneako's got a crush on you. Obviously, I got it going on. Who doesn't have a crush on me? Hello. Obviously, duh.
We're not more nurturing than men. Men are better with children. That's fact.
Okay, so What's the purpose of women?
Pearl, will you marry me? Stop simping. You don't know me. I could be batshit crazy. You don't know me. That's simping. Stop simping. Stop the simp. Put it away. Put it away. Thank you.
I have a hard time with those questions, and I'll tell you why.
Okay, here we go.
No. Because sometimes I think you guys turn into preachers. And you're just trying to preach your religion onto everybody.
I'm just asking you a simple question. I mean, if you're saying that women are not as good as nurturing as men, because my belief is that women are supposed to nurture. If women are not good at nurturing, then what? It's a follow-up question to that argument, right?
But I guess because I know where you're going with it, and it always turns into a wish list about how we want the world to be, not how it is.
Yeah, but
so
that's the point.
It's always what should women do, and I'm like, well, the trends indicate this, and the data indicates this.
Right, so if there's problems, instead of just diagnosing the problem, because I understand what you're saying, like this is how the world is. So you're diagnosing a problem. Women are not as nurturing, but we should try to.
So that's bad. That's like bad information that makes women look bad. So, but let's tell them to be nurturing. Yeah, let's hold on to pull this down for a second. Let's see how this is going to go. Cause I tweeted at him today. I'm kind of an asshole, guys. Get over it. Get over it. I don't care. I'll continue to be an asshole. Yup. Where am I? Where the hell? Wait, where is this? I retweeted. Let me hold on. Oh no, don't show. Okay, good. Okay. Oh, here we go. Yeah, let me. Oh no, I don't want to play this music because I don't want to get copyrighted. But you can see this and just pretend there's a song. I'll be the villain if that's what you want. I'll be the villain. Ah. Okay, pretend there's a song. Now, it says my fetus dancing right before it was aborted. Yeah, the nurturing gender. The gender of good people. Oh, she looks real torn up about this, guys. She looks... Okay. Let me just tell her. Let me just tell her and see how that goes. Let me just... Oh.
To be better, and that's the point of conversation, is that we improve each other and we try to remove each other's flaws. So if you're saying that women are...
No, they can't pick one clip. Okay, scroll on TikTok. Okay, go on whatever the pregame or Fresh and Fit that have all interviewed 1,000 women each. Let me know the quality. Go on a dating app. Put on a dating app and let me know the quality of the women. Let me know. Look at numbers. Look outside. Let me know.
Nurturing, which is what most people believe and what most religions, cultures believe.
No, that woman wasn't black. You guys act like most abortions are done by white women. I know black women do it at a higher rate, but let's not pretend the white women are innocent here. Get the F out of my face. It's like...
Then what is the purpose of women? The should is an important thing to talk about.
Well, should or is? And that's
should. That's what I'm asking. I'm not asking is. I'm asking should.
So I would say it depends on the woman, because that chick that we kicked out of Fresh and Fit, I hope to God she never has children.
True. Yeah.
I hope to God. I pray to God that woman never has kids.
Same thing with the pedophiles that we catch on stream. I hope they don't have children either. But the exception. But we both agree.
But do you see that again? Bad information. Info makes women look bad, so we have to bring it back to the men. Well, but men are Well, let's talk about the teachers. I see something in the news every week of a female teacher screwing a student. Who are the real pedos? I'm not saying that men don't do it too.
Make the rule?
Every time I talk about a negative about women, you always have to counter it with a negative about men because we can't handle negative conversations about women. It's like
No.
I've noticed.
My point is saying, like, we shouldn't. The exception does not make the rule, right? If you see one loud Shreesh twerking on the podcast, that shouldn't make up for all women. Just like how one pedophile on stream shouldn't make up for all men. Because because feminists make the same argument, bro.
So again, the data indicates it's more the rule than the exception. That is what the data indicates.
That most women are abusers, or what? That most women are what?
Well, you were talking about the chick on Fresh and Fit, and you said that's the exception, not the rule.
Now, I wanna show you guys. Put this down for 1 second. Well, I'm gonna show you guys why is this Clary, Michael Knowles, Aaron Clary, very very smart guy. Marriageable women in America.
So I was on.
This is how the data is pulled.
With Pearl of Just Pearly Things on her channel yesterday. Anyway, and it became apparent to me that there's some confusion about the statistics on.
I'm gonna 1.5x this. Sorry, guys. Keep up.
Calculated what percentage of women in America were marriageable. And it's important to the conversation we're having, and some big heavy hitters are coming in as well, like Daily Wire guys, starting to go mainstream, Michael Knowles. So I said, who's he? And I looked him up like, oh, he's got 1 million subscribers. Like, he might have an audience. And I've also written several books, not so much in the same genre, but math-based. And so what I decided to do is clarify this. And following this will be an excerpt from the Book of Numbers, Analyzing the ROI in the Pursuit of Women. It goes through the 3 methodologies that I use to calculate the statistic. And it's somewhat misquoted because people are using a chart that of one of the 3 methodologies, we just take the negative, the multiple, the traits. There's 8, and you say, oh, only this percent have this percent have that, this percent have this. You multiply that times that, and then you get a 0.5% percent of the population that does not have these deal-breaking variables, but you have to back out co-correlation. And so Fred, our actuary, did that. But then there's also some confusion with another book I wrote called A World Without Men, which does not necessarily talk about the percentage of marriageable women. That talks about economics. And so it would help to understand there are 2 distinct books. One is called The Book of Numbers, Analyzing the ROI in the Pursuit of Women. That is what, if you wanted to look it up and read more of the data and such, that's the one you're talking about. A World Without Men, that really doesn't address the percentage of women who are marriageable. That goes on to discuss and opine what's going to happen if men and women don't get together. And I'm glad we're having the conversation because it's very important ultimately to society and economics and the future of the human race. Everyone's right that if people don't start getting together and having kids, we're in for a world of hurt. But that ain't my problem. That is not my problem. Why isn't your problem, Cappy? Because I don't have kids. Boo, yes, you have it. That's a different argument. In the meantime, the following is an excerpt from the Book of Numbers, Analyzing the ROI in the Pursuit of Women. And it goes. It explains the 3 methodologies and how it came. I think it's a 2.7%.
Sorry, guys, hold on.
Marriageable rate for women.
2.5.
Chapter 4.
I'm actually. I'm generous. I give it 3. It's 2.5%.
Or marriageable. If you had tried dating in the past 25 years, you know that it has not only been difficult, but increasingly so. And while many people, both men and women, may date for fun, inevitably the majority of people date with the end goal of marriage and perhaps forming a family. But while men's and women's biological drives compel them towards this evolutionary goal, society, in a bevy of ways, has delayed, postponed, even outright obstructed men and women from achieving this goal. This has come in the form of making college an unnecessary condition of employment, crippling young people with student debt so they can't afford a family, indoctrinating young women to put more value on their careers and education than men/children/family/love, obesity that has rendered 70% of people physically revolting, and a war of the sexes that makes cancer seem friendly. Both sexes, women for men and men for women, have been ruined for each other by society, resulting in abysmally few people who are marriage material. And you didn't need a study to tell you that. But how do you measure, quote, marriage material?
How can you super chat? Look, the best thing you can do is just go to my website and buy a monthly membership. It's $10 a month. If you buy a membership and you screenshot it, send it to me on X. I'll read whatever you want. We're having issues with the website right now, streaming on it, because we're traveling. Get the year. I'll be like, yay, it's $80 for a year. So, please.
How do you determine whether a woman is of high enough caliber to marry? And what traits would you consider to make this judgment? There are no correct answers, but this study employs 3 methods to estimate the percent of the female population that is marriageable. 1, the deal breaker method. 2, the online dating profile method. And 3, the dates per marriage method. An average of all 3 will then be used for this piece of the ROI puzzle. Method number 1, The deal breaker method. The deal breaker method attempts to measure, based on surveys, polling, and other data, what percent of the American female population has no major deal breakers. What qualifies as a deal breaker is certainly up for debate. Loudly smacking her chewing gum may be considered a deal breaker for some, but not at the same level as, say, a woman with herpes. So, to determine what were critical deal breakers that would indeed disqualify a woman from being marriage material, we had to focus on critical flaws that were not merely unlikable, but would make a happy marriage an impossibility. And while no doubt this list could be unlimited, we focused on 8 deal breakers deemed to be the most poignant, comprehensive, and relevant to the success of a happy marriage, as well as the interests of men. Number 1. Obesity/being overweight. Despite what fat acceptance activists and an increasing percent of American women want to believe, being big is not beautiful. It is disgusting, it's gross, it's physically revolting, and it just so happens it's unhealthy. But more importantly, as it pertains to whether a woman is marriage material, it immediately destroys the number one thing men seek in women: physical beauty. And though women may howl at the moon and claim that a man should love a woman for who she is on the inside, we already have a name for women we like but just aren't physically attracted to: friends. Regardless, since physical beauty is a must, this eliminates the 59.6% of young American women who are obese or overweight as marriage material. Certainly, yes, many men are fat themselves, and yes, many men marry fat women, have wives who get fat on them, or even manage to have kids with them. But remember, the definition of success in this study is happily married, and you simply cannot be happily married to somebody you're not physically attracted to. Number 2. Worthless degrees. While the world celebrates that there are now more women in college than men, nobody has bothered to ask whether it's for something sensible like accounting or a colossal waste of time like the liberal arts. And when you consider whether the degrees women are getting are worthwhile or merely an excuse to attend a very expensive 4-year party, unfortunately, 80.5% of the time, it's an excuse to party. However, it is not so much the degree itself that excludes women from being marriage material as it is what it comprehensively says about them. First, it's a declaration as to how realistic and serious women are about their careers, their professions, and their work ethic. Yes, it would be nice to solve poverty, but usually when a young woman majors in the social sciences, it's to avoid real work or rigor. At minimum, a delusion to follow her heart and the money will follow. You will be subsidizing her life as she simply lacks the education and skills to command a self-supporting wage. Second, there are huge financial consequences for majoring in the wrong thing. Namely, the tonnage of student debt she's incurred and unable to pay off, making her a huge financial liability for any future suitor. Third, many of these worthless degrees are simply rank indoctrination, brainwashing women to value their careers, politics, feminism, educations, etc. above love, which is simply antithetical to marriage. If you marry someone with a gender studies degree, they are not going to be a loving or supporting wife, but likely an obstinate, nagging shrew that loves her cultish politics and career more than you or your children. This isn't to say a nice, sweet girl who's majoring in education to become an elementary school teacher is going to be some nagging, confrontational harpy. Nor is it to say that every girl who goes to college, only 72.5% of women do. But it is to use women's choice of majors as a proxy as to where their priorities in life lie, how realistic they are about finances, how realistic they are about life, as well as the chances they will be a political, financial, or even emotional liability to your marriage. The data for worthless degrees was calculated using the NCES data for all bachelor degrees conferred in 2018. Every degree that did not have an obvious job or profession attached to it or were notoriously underpaid professions, education, sociology, etc.
Okay, I don't really want to go through this whole thing. I've listened to it before, but you guys get the idea. This is where you can look it up. Look up Pearly Things, Michael Knowles, Aaron Clary. It'll come up. It's like the first thing. So I know, based on data, 3.5%, and even let's just say he's completely wrong. Let's say it's 20%. That still leaves 80% of men. Okay.
And yes. What I'm talking about is marriageable women. That they're the exception. It's not the rule based on the data.
That what?
It's like does not compute. It's like does not data. Even if we don't go off of data, I could say look outside. That's how I come to my worldview, because he's going to ask me how I come to my worldview. I look at data and I look outside and I see if they match. If that data said 97%, I'd have a harder time. Because I've interviewed 1,000 women. If data doesn't match what I see outside, then I look into who funds the data. I look into the sample size. Or maybe I adjust my worldview.
No, not women are bad. It's
because see, he keeps equating women are bad. Women are bad from this information. It just means we're not as good as men. Why is that bad? If children aren't as good as parents, does that mean children are bad? No. They're just not as good as parents.
Percent of women are marriageable. And they went through, I have to remember, Aaron Clary broke down how we got these numbers, but
it's in that video. Look,
it's like 3% of women don't have tattoos, don't have debts, don't have a crazy amount of sexual partners, haven't done sex work, are under a certain weight. It's literally 3%. If you poll Gen Z on what they rank as priorities, they rank men 7th, they rank beaches higher, they rank partying higher, they rank travel higher than men.
Okay.
So it's not like what I wish the world to be, because again, you guys always go back to a wish list. This isn't Make-A-Wish. I'm saying this is
what you're saying, but I'm not just talking about, you're saying this isn't. What are you talking about? Because it's not just.
Thank you, Christopher, for the food super chat. Thank you, Christopher Thomas. Venmo, you guys can Venmo me, _pearlythings.
Diagnosing problems. I understand there's problems with the world. You're saying this isn't it. What are you talking about? Like I'm asking a question like, what is the purpose of women? And you're saying that doesn't matter. But these questions do.
Someone on X said that's an objective question. What's the purpose of women? Well, I would say personally that the purpose of women is to be a man's helpmate. For some women, that will include children. For other women, that will be supporting him in whatever he's doing. For some women, it'll just be working, contributed 50-50, not having kids because he doesn't want them. That's what I would say. But I don't, because what happens is if I say that, then he's going to start preaching. And guys, I can't deal with the preaching. I'm really happy for you guys and God, and I'm really happy. But the more you guys tell me I need to find God, the more I want to tell you to take your prayers and shove them up your ass. That's how I feel about it. You guys are so annoying. The more you guys start preaching at me, the more I'm just like, you know what? I don't even like you guys are the reason that people are go out of church. That's how I feel.
Well, what is the purpose according to who? To you or to me or to someone else? It changes depending on who you ask.
You could ask a feminist. She would say it depends. That's not a right or wrong answer. That's subjective.
I'm saying
some people would say children is women's purpose. I would not say children. I think women are happier being with a man they love than having kids. I've seen too many women have kids they hate. I mean, they kill them. You can't even. You're telling me women's purpose is children, and a third of women are going to kill one. Yeah, okay.
Let's talk about what is, not what we want the world to be.
Why?
Because it turns into Make-A-Wish.
No, but not the alternative.
Every time they say should, just hear Make-A-Wish. Well, women, even me, okay, even I've done it. Women shouldn't vote. That's Make-A-Wish. Well, women should get back in the kitchen. That's Make-A-Wish. Well, women should be wives and mother. That's Make-A-Wish. Well, women should go to church. That's Make-A-Wish. You're asking, let's go back. This woman, this is a white woman, I think, or Iranian or something, maybe Hispanic. I think she's white. Yeah, everyone's saying, oh, white women won't have these problems. I know a lot of white women, they have the same problems, okay? You don't need the last 4 digits of my phone number. You can just, $50. Thank you, Jeffrey. What a guy. You're saying to these women, just change your mind. Yeah, okay.
Why talk about just the problems? Why just talk about that? What does that do?
Well, what does talking about the solutions do? I've heard tradcons use the same rhetoric that you have kind of had the last year or so. I've heard it for 10 years. I grew up with it. I've heard it. I've heard all of the get married, have children, start a family. And the trend, it will not change the trends.
So then what are you saying?
I'm saying these are the trends. This is what's true.
Women, he's like, what are you saying? Now remember, this whole debate was based on, are women more nurturing or not? Should you say that information or not? That's not, I say do with that what you want.
And then what? But and then what?
Okay, so let's take the conversation we had. Women are more violent than men. That is true. Women are more violent towards children than men. That is true. If a man does abuse a child, most likely it is the stepfather. That is the most likely thing. Go into abortion. 1 out of 3 women have had an abortion.
Okay, but you're not you're not seeing what I'm asking. You're gonna keep listing stats. You're gonna keep saying that.
I'm gonna keep living in reality, Sneako. I'm sorry.
More violent women are bad people, right? Women.
But see, he keeps saying women are bad people. I didn't say that. I said women are not more nurturing than men. Now, I do say men are actually good people. Some women are too. But women are significantly worse people than men. Is that bad? Just like children have temper tantrums. They're usually worse people than adults. Well, I don't know, but you guys know what I mean.
Bad, right? Women should not. But I'm saying, what is the point of saying this?
So my purpose in saying that is to focus on what is true, because you said something in that debate that was not true.
What did I say?
Why don't you pull it up? I can't remember off the top of my head exactly.
So this is what, it's like a debate tactic, because he's like trying to say, quote exactly what you said. I'm like, I don't. What did I say? What's the definition? That's like.
But if you pull it up, I could go through it with you.
Okay, it's over. It's a philosophical thing because I want to.
So philosophical. This is me thinking. Oh no, please don't preach to me. Please, God. I just want to say men are the nurturing gender. If we're gonna go based on stats and what I see outside, that's it. And then he's like, "Well, let's. Where do your beliefs come? Frickin' A, make it stop."
I can bring it up, but you're the one saying it's not true. What did I say that was not true?
Pull it up. I'll show you.
Okay, we'll pull it up.
I can't remember word for word off the top of my head.
Dang, even his chat saying I'm destroying the man. Look at it.
Send me the clip.
I've spent a lot of hours prepping for these kind of debates. So
someone send me the clip.
Yeah, put it in. I'll explain exactly what I was talking about.
Okay, I'm not sure. I think you would remember that. But let's get to
word. I mean, what good of a? This is like 2 weeks ago. How good do you think my memory is?
I don't know. You're the one remembering what was not true, and I'm not.
I remember,
but I'm trying to see like what. So you're saying this is how it is, right? You're basically your worldview is that I'm really.
I'm a reporter. Like I'm here to report what's going on. You guys are preachers. I'm a reporter.
No, I'm not a preacher. But I want the world to be better. Like I think that. Okay, so what's the?
Then he starts preaching. Well, the world should be better. Well, the world, make a wish.
Make it better. What's your plan?
What's my plan? Is to.
What's your plan?
We agree about a lot, Pearl. We talking to
microphone.
Do you want me to answer?
Other than talking to. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. So we could diagnose a lot of the problems, right? We agree that feminism is bad, it's ruining women, but then we have to try to make it better, right? Okay. We can't, saying feminism is bad over and over again, what does that do?
What does what you're doing do? Saying women's purpose is...
But you're not answering my question. Saying feminism is bad and over, like having this dooms mentality.
I actually go further than that. I say feminism won. I say it won. And it's never going back. So
women fought for what, guys? The ability to kill children and be whores. That's feminism. Look outside. Look outside. What do you think, Jeremiah? Did they win? I mean, come on.
My solution actually is to make women deal with the consequences of their decisions. One way that I would suggest a policy that I'd like to see changed, even though I wouldn't bet on it, is I'd like to see child support gotten rid of, alimony gotten rid of, and men can sign.
So women fought again. They said abortion and be whores. They said kill children and be whores. So I say, okay, you guys fought for that. Okay. But take what comes with it. If you are a whore and you become a single mother, take that L and eat it. Take and eat it.
To the rights of their children. If you can sleep with who you want as a woman, if you can get a job that's pretty much useless and make money doing.
Thank you, James, for the, it says, give Sneako the Reverend X. I don't know what the Reverend X means, but.
And you have all of these abortion and birth control options. I think that you should take the responsibility that comes with it. And I think that would actually change a lot because it would force women to be responsible for their children.
I hear you say this. You go to the law and you say like what should happen in court, stuff like that.
It's really important, Sneako.
That is, but
you know, more men commit suicide every day than are getting married.
Right,
but see, he does not care. He's like, F those. Oh, Robert, thank you for the $50. You guys are getting me through today. You really are.
Doing with the camera and the microphone. Our impact is mostly on the culture war. It doesn't have to do with the courts, and we're not going to be able to pass laws. What we're going to be able.
How do you know? I think actually that we're going to start seeing laws become more fair because women are going to start making more money. So what'll happen is women have been, these are the men. Now men are doing work, making money, and women are stealing. So right now you're seeing some legal stealing. This is done through useless jobs. Men do all the work in a company, but women still get the higher pay. Or divorce, alimony, etc. So now women are going to have more of the money. That means more men, based on the laws, are going to be able to steal it. And what do women do really well? Let's just say 10% of women actually start to get robbed. Maybe they do some real work and they start to get robbed. You're going to see women do what we do best, complain. Complain. You're going to see women say, hey, Kelly Clarkson's going to say, I shouldn't have to give my money back to why does he get my money? The men that are putting women on alimony and child support will do wonders for this men's rights movement. Because as you can see here, he doesn't give a shit about men.
Do is be able to change people's minds about things and influence the culture. So when it comes to the culture war, like what do you think?
What evidence do you have that that's working? What evidence?
That what's working about the culture?
The culture war has been going on for a decade. I've been watching this shit since I was.
Okay, so wait, I want to look up just for fun. You can put it down for a second. Ben Shapiro YouTube channel. I'm just curious when his first video was. All right, oldest, because he's really, all right, 7 years ago. Now let's look. Since Ben Shapiro, birth rate for US, let's just say that it is going, let's look. Oh, wait, okay, wait, let's down. Yep, so every year now, maybe it's stagnated a little bit. It's not that much down, but down or up, okay. Sexual partners, US. Before marriage, or actually, let's do marriage. Average age of first marriage. First wedding, 28. Goes up, not down. Okay. Just trying to, look at the facts. How effective has that been?
That was in high school. What evidence do you have that that's effective?
Yeah, that means
I would even accept if he had personal experience that other people could back up. I'm not a stats only chick. If you could mention a celebrity, a cultural thing that like went on, or this younger generation's really prioritizing marriage, or all my, I would maybe even accept it if you give me enough examples. But you're giving me nada, nothing.
Clear that a lot of people are changing their minds about this.
What evidence in terms of outcomes do you have that that's effective?
Our young women, the stats, recently young women came out to be more liberal. Now, you could say, oh, but men are more conservative. Yeah, but women have more voting power. So what's going to happen? Society is going to become, they're winning. They won.
That feminism is, you could change the minds of your audience and the people that watch your content.
What? I mean, people can say words, but I'm looking for outcomes and actions. I need proof.
I would say like the biggest example is like Nick Fuentes getting reinstated on Twitter. And the fact that he's dominating the conservative talking points that happen right now. If you want to go evidence, then I think one of the best metrics right now is social media. And all these politicians are getting ratioed by streamers. Streamers have more of a pull right now than most politicians. You keep going to the law and to court, stuff like that. These people have no sort of movement. They don't inspire anybody. The people.
So this is how delusional streamers are. I swear. Sneako, you're a friend of the show, but I gotta cook, okay? Streamers are so delusional that they think their audience is really changing the culture. Okay. Yeah, including me. You know, I think I'm just a normal chick. I don't say I'm changing the world. Look it. I might change a couple people's minds. But ratioing politicians does not equate to switching laws. It just doesn't. Sorry, guys. Go to theaudacitynetwork.com and please get a year subscription. You guys would be so helpful. Thank you.
Aspiring people are people like me, you, fresh and fit. These people with that have a dominant audience that wants to push these talking points forward. If they believe in all these old talking points like feminism is important and the vaccine is good.
Oh, and by the way, I want to point out, if even the streamers are saying, well, the laws are never going to change. Okay.
Then they get blown out of the water. The culture war is being won because the people that you keep saying that we should go to the law, politicians, they're getting ratioed every time they tweet.
Okay. So I'm sorry, but ratioing a politician does not equate to changing a law.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about changing a law. I'm not talking about changing a law. I'm talking about. But
okay.
See, no. I'm talking about culture. Laws do not dictate people's minds. This is good evidence that things are getting.
Let's go into culture.
Okay.
And I know you haven't done the research on this. I just can tell.
On culture? How do you research culture?
So the way that I would measure it.
Go outside, talk to people. Sneako, you have people on your stream all the time. How many are married with children under the age of 30, men or women? None. Other than Ryan Dawson. I think that's pretty much it. And he's in freaking Japan. What percent? Go outside.
One is birth rate. The birth rate is still declining. Then you can also poll Gen Z on what they find a fact. I actually have a lot more of insight, I would say, into like Gen Z, just because I have two sisters that are around that age, and I could kind of tell you like what.
Perfect example. Your sister, Pearl. Your sister came on my stream. Didn't she change her mind?
Okay, but see, I actually want to point it out. My sister actually did have more conservative views. But I love you, E. I love you, E. Don't cook me. But she's still overweight. We're working on it now. But I'm not gonna, clap until she fixes it. I'm happy for the improvement. I'll clap. But, we gotta clap for actions, not words.
She came on my stream and she believes in all this.
This is
we unplugged her. We unplugged her in one stream.
Okay, but here's what we got to talk about. Outcomes, right?
Thank you, James, for the $20 on Cash App. You're awesome.
That was an outcome. She believes in all this woke garbage. We spoke to her and now she's different.
Let's wait. Okay. Outcomes is birth rate, marriage, and family. That would be a switching of the culture. Young marriage. Is that happening?
No, yes, it's not. No, the average marriage age is like 31 for men.
I'm going to keep going. Birth rate, up or down?
It's going down.
Okay, number of sex workers, up or down?
It's going up.
Okay, so the last 10 years, I have heard about this culture war my whole life. And what I have found is streamers love the clout. They love the clout. They love to look good on podcasts. They love to, and I see this from the Daily Wire too. They love to say, get married, but they have no real plan for how to switch any of the government incentives that would actually change things. When you pay people to do the wrong thing, they will keep doing it.
So, what does that mean? Let's say, and we're gonna extrapolate the data, right? But let's say 1,000 men got married, okay, in the last generation. Base 1,000 signups, and this defaulted 50% of the time. With no change, let's say we have 500 signups the second generation. It's still going to default 50% of the time. Okay. And the next generation, 250 people sign up. It still defaults 50% of the time. If the technology allows for default, all you're going to get with more liberal women now, there's more liberal women than before, I would guess the default rate would go up, not down.
I don't care how many people say they'll do the right thing. When you have government incentives, Tim, actually, I can't say who this was because he said not to say his name, but there was someone I met on one of the podcasts I was on. He was paying $1,700 a month in child support. $1,700 a month. He hadn't seen his kids in 5 years.
Okay, so look at the reason he is not reacting to this information is because streamers are out of touch with money. We get such easy money. I know I have a lot of expenses now, and I'm demonetized, so it's not the same. But I'll tell you what, 6 months ago, I had it made. And guys, I've worked a real job. I worked in sales. I would do this over sales, and that's not even that bad. I mean, come on. Some of you guys are doing plumbing. Some of you guys are doing manual labor outside. I don't have jack shit to complain about. I got nothing. But many of you really know the value of money. Jeremiah, can you imagine paying $1,700 a month? Yeah, he would scream. 18 years, imagine. 18 years. And by the way, that's tax-free. So you have to, the rest of your paycheck, you would have to pay taxes on the money she's getting. So men are losing 60 to 70% of their income. Let's say she divorces you when the kid's 5. You have 13 years of this bullshit. 13 years. And now people are breaking up before the kid even comes. What would that do? Imagine that happening to you at 45, and on top of that, she took all of the wealth that you built up the last 20 years. Imagine. What would that do? How would that, I mean, shit. And so you think maybe, so people live to be 80, let's say. Men live a little shorter, so let's say 75. You got 25 years left. So it took you 20 years to build up what you have. Now the rest of your life, let's say at 45 this happens to you. Because I think the average age is like 45 or 46. You have 25 years to build up what you had while she's taking 70% of your income. Do you see why many men just commit suicide? Because now they have to mourn basically the death of a child because they maybe get their kid 2 weekends a month. She's stealing 70% of his money. Everyone thinks he's an abuser. So he doesn't even get to spend 70% of his income and see his kids. And I'm going to go through how often this happens. It's more common than you guys think, okay? But it's like he doesn't, it's their fault. Pick better. Yeah, Steven Crowder, what the hell was the man supposed to do?
This was a Christian woman. I don't care what people say. I watch what they do.
Okay. I saw what your sister did. She came on this podcast and she believed in
He's like, I don't care.
racist. She
What Pearl,
believed in
your
all the
sister?
programming. We spoke to her and then she changed her mind. I think you're using.
She's 19. I mean, she could change her mind again tomorrow. I don't know. I mean, she changed her. What's she going to do next year? I don't know. Love her. I love her regardless. I don't care if she's a blue-haired hippie. But, I mean, I don't know what she's going to do.
Statistics, and you're trying to say that the laws and you're using things that, yeah, of course, they're winning in a lot of ways. But what my point, yeah, they're winning in a lot of ways. But what is it?
For words instead of actions.
Okay, but you're not going to change this by passing laws. That seems like it's your solution. You're saying
Let me think about this, okay? I'm gonna go back to my Google Doc. Wait a second while I pull it up. Actually, no, I got it. Okay, so let's just think about this for a second. Okay. What would changing the laws do? Would it change anything? Okay. All right, let's see. Option 1, pay women to be single mothers, divorced, and pay women to be single mothers. All right, pay women to divorce husband or be single mother. Pay women to steal children. Pay women to steal money. Or let me just think these through. Do not pay women to steal children and money. Think about how much money $1,700 a month is. I mean, Hillary Crowder got $25,000 a month that you get to do whatever with. I mean, when he's making the money, he's got to tell you what to do with it. Now you can do whatever you want. I wonder what will happen when you pay women to be single mothers and whores. Oh my God, how crazy is it? All the women are single mothers and whores. I'm so shocked. I'm like, it blows my, how did this happen? The same way, pay people to not work, or do not pay people to not work. I wonder what would happen. What if many will say that getting married is similar to driving a car? Yeah, there's a risk, but the risk is worth the reward. You could die on the road every day. Okay. I actually don't think so. I think the equivalent would be if you got on the road and everyone was paid to hit you. I mean, look, would you get in that car if everyone on the road was paid $100,000 to hit you? Now, many might have morals. You could even say half will have morals. But what if you lived in the house with that person? And every day, their morals are tested. Every day, they're either getting annoyed or liking you better. What do you think would happen? Now, look, I'm not the smartest person in the world. I'm not saying that I have all the answers, but I do think it would change things a little bit. I don't know.
The birth rate's declining. You're saying that there's more sex workers. Passing laws.
Hold on, I'm going to get a whiteboard. Hold. Thank you.
What are you?
I gotta teach you.
I was about to show him this, but we got off track.
Sorry.
Okay, before you run on the whiteboard.
Everything.
Before you
need the whiteboard.
Before you run on the whiteboard, Pearl. Passing laws about custody, because that seems like your solution. That's the only thing that you provided. Passing law.
Start. No, that'd be a start.
That'd be a start. That's not going to change the amount of sex workers. That's not going to increase the birth rate. That's not going to get more people. That's not going to get more people to get married. You're not going to win this.
Oh no, it totally would get more people. I don't think you realize how prevalent this is.
No. Crazy. People are not getting married because of the laws. People are getting married because people are not getting married because they're addicted to porn.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Corn is not the answer. Do you think if men had a 120-pound attractive wife that was dying to sleep with them every day and willing to marry them at 21 with no previous sexual partners? Jeremiah, do you think that men would take that deal? Yet you guys say corn. I mean, let's just call it what it is. Most men would say, yeah. And she won't leave? Okay, let me get this straight. I get a 21-year-old chick, no sexual partners, hot enough. I mean, most guys, they don't need us to be that hot. They just need us to be hot enough, don't get fat, please. Okay, you can be chubby, but just don't get obese, please. That's how guys think.
This is a cultural problem. It's a programming problem. It's not a problem with the law. When you hear people afraid of getting marriage, like, do you genuinely think that it's because of the courts? That's the main reason?
Do you have any idea how bad?
Someone said, I said, I have heard your complaints that I need to get back in the kitchen. And and I've taken your complaints very seriously. I'm now streaming from the kitchen. Ryan Dawson said, do a stream making a club sandwich and not talking at all. Maybe I will.
Sneako.
Of course I do. But the main reason that people are afraid of marriage is because they value their youth and they value casual sex more than they do about something that's traditional. It's not a law problem.
That's women. Again, as if we went back, women start the whole process of getting from hookup, sex, whatever, to relationship. You know what's weird, guys? I talked to so many couples, and the majority of the ones I would deem happy hooked up on the first day. Do with that information what you want. Do with that info what you want. Look at the ones where the guy is a simp, they wait. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying,
Cultural problem.
Oh, but the culture stems from this issue because you're paying women to do that. Okay, let me just show you something. So, are you a visual learner? I'm a visual learner.
I love the whiteboard.
Okay, so I'd like to get my notes on this too, because I think this is really important. So a couple laws that you might not know about. If you get a girl pregnant in Miami, right? Or actually, I'm not sure about Miami.
See, right. He doesn't care. They don't care. This is what I mean. The tradition, and I wouldn't even say Sneako's traditional and conservative, but I'm just giving you examples. They do not care about men. They want men. They say, you know what? Men. This is what they say. And this is kind of full of shit. They say, okay, the women today, women today are bad. You know, I think I like the Google Doc better because my handwriting kind of sucks. The trads say, okay, they say, yes, I admit women today are bad. Then they say, yes, the laws are bad. Now, what would logic tell men to do? If the women are bad and the laws are bad, they would say no. That's illogical to do. The trads say, you are a bad person for not doing it. Oftentimes, these men come in from a position of extreme privilege. And, I like the Tates, but I disagree with them on this. I mean, they made their money, from what I've heard, through casinos, sex workers, and casinos, sex workers, and I don't know, Bitcoin or the hustle program. I'm sorry. That is a completely different experience than the middle American men that built this country. There are farmers, there are plumbers, there are electricians, the men that build the buildings, pave the roads. I don't agree with this whole hustle, hustle, hustle. You are not a real man if you don't have money, I don't agree with that. I just don't. Women right now are robbing men in this country. This is just what's happening. And I think that average American men deserve respect. So I for men that want to protect themselves and say this is a bad deal, I'm opting out right now. I got no qualms with them. If they want to do it, I got no qualms either. But at least let's be honest that signing up today, it's more likely it's not going to work out. I'm just trying to be honest here. Oh, wait, this is the wrong one. Where was that? Oh, it was Rumble. I'm used to clicking YouTube. Okay.
Me in particular. This one's from California, but I know a lot of other states have it. Over the age of 2 years old, if you find out that kid's not yours, you are still on the hook for child support for 16 years. Now,
think about imagine $1,700 a month. Imagine, remember, average guy makes $55 a month, or not a month, a year. Now, but the problem is these streamers, they're making $55,000 a month. They have no idea. Like we don't know the value of money. I'll even include myself. I wouldn't say I have a grasp on the value of money the same way someone that has worked a middle class American job that is necessary for this country to run. You know, even Ubers. We need Ubers, trains, buses, whatever you want to put it. We need public transportation of some sort. Those guys make like minimum wage. They don't make a ton of money, but they're absolutely needed. And I don't think they're less of people because they don't go the streamer content creator route. It's just a different, existence.
I think a lot of influencers lose is the average man's experience in America. Average men make what? $40,000, $50,000 a year?
57.
And many of them do jobs that are very necessary for this country. For example, we have the military. We need the military, right?
Not really, no.
Now, I got to be honest. This is the most privileged thing I've ever heard in my life. We do need protection. And the military does more than just protect us. Okay? It's not, a lot of them build government buildings. A lot of them, there's other jobs. But again, this is like a different reality. Okay.
Not for a lot of what we're doing, no. No, I mean, based on the military conquest right now, we don't need it for a lot of reasons. Of course, we need a military to defend it in case there's threats, but what we use it for, no. But keep going.
Okay. But you would agree that a soldier going to war, that's like, I interviewed a guy today, he served in Iraq. You might not agree with the war, but that's still a noble thing to do, right? Serve in our military, protect our country, you'd agree.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Many of these men come back, their apartment is gone. All of their shit, their bank accounts are drained. Ask any military guy. Almost all of them know somebody that has come home to this. Bank account and
he does not care. You can't care about everything. But this is what I want to show you. Conservatives don't care about men's issues. They don't. It's wave. Just pick a good one. Okay.
Mm.
Kids gone. And because the way the law is structured, the woman has spent most of the time.
Yeah. I think that's what he's looking at because even his chat saying I'm cooking. And now this is why he had to go to preaching, freaking A, because I was cooking too hard.
The children the last year, guess who gets primary custody?
The women.
When you pay women to do the wrong thing.
I don't know why this concept is so hard. I just didn't get it.
Do it. And I could give examples, and you've done.
We've heard this, Pearl. But the conversation that I want to have with you is bigger than this. Before, okay, listen to me before you go right on the whiteboard. Because the laws are a very small part of this. See, what's going on?
No.
It's
This is what I was going to write. Okay. So I just want to, what does this problem, okay. So, all right. So you pay women to leave relationships and marriage. Okay. What happens? What happens when this happens? Okay. Single mothers and whores. Okay. So now what happens when you have a bunch of single mother whores? Okay. And you pay women to not be in relationships. What happens? The single mothers raise bad kids. You know, maybe I'm going to make this font a little bit smaller so it fits. Let's do 25. Should. All right, so let me go to like 25. Okay. And let's go a little higher. 30? 30? Okay. All right, the single mothers raise bad kids. The kids are school shooters, criminals, rapists, simps, etc. Okay. I'll add the. Now, what happens to the dad? He becomes homeless. He is thrown in jail. He is forced to be a deadbeat, not a choice, forced. There's more, but that's just that's so all of the issues that we're talking about really stem, at least sort of, from family court. Now, I'm not saying no alimony, no child support would solve it, but it would at least require women to pay for it themselves. If you want to make a bad decision, I don't care. Go crazy, chica. But dear God, do it on your own dime, not his. Go be the single mother of your dreams. I mean, someone's got to do it. Chica, you step up to the plate. Go do it.
It's much. You're saying it's small. Let me finish.
Homeless.
Okay.
70% of the homeless came from some sort of family court in the last 5 years. They were in contact with it. 400,000 men commit suicide.
You just said what I said you were going to do.
Now he said, Pearl, stop proving it, Pearl. Stop proving it. We got 2 supers. Been loving your content from Jeff Edgar. Start the super PAC, Pearl. Solves your money problem and starts the men lobby. What is a super PAC? I am so sorry. I should know. I really don't.
Before you list these stats that you've downloaded into your head, the problem is a lot bigger than what you make it seem to be. It's a problem versus good and evil. That's what you.
Here we go. And this is my face. Oh no. Religion. Please God, please, like oh. Cuz remember, I came on there to talk about women are not more nurturing. That is a lie.
You kind of minimize it to something that's much smaller, saying, okay, this is bad.
Oh no. Oh, here we go.
They're trying to separate God from us. They want us to have this dooms mentality. They want us to have this, to believe that we should not have kids because of climate change. They want us to think that everything is fucked. So what's the point of continuing? So by having this everything is fucked?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. This is the conversation I want to have. What does believing that do?
Okay. If I say, hey, the U.S. is on a decline, everything's fucked. Now he said, what does believing that do? Huh? Huh? Okay, what would not believing it do? What if I said, okay, that's not true? What? At least this way I can prepare a little bit. You know what I mean?
Please answer this question before you go into.
You can prepare accordingly.
Okay, how do you prepare accordingly for everything's fucked?
Personally, I'll tell you how my family's prepared. Do you want to know?
Yeah.
So my family, my dad actually had this thought. He doesn't follow any of this stuff. He's just the smartest man I've ever met in my life.
Mm-hmm.
He bought a neighborhood for all of me and my siblings and got a bunch of guns. So when everything goes to shit, we have a completely self-sustaining, like you can farm, you can get your food from there. We just got chickens. So that's what we did, because we didn't say, oh, let me pray and hope and pray to God that everything isn't.
No. That's not what I'm saying. The solution is there's practical things you have to do. But do you see?
You can't buy a neighborhood. I know that's not for most people, you know. But sorry, that's like a very
okay. But do you see? Okay, do you see that how the solution you provided is the same to my solution?
Yeah,
I didn't provide a solution actually. Well, I said what my family did, but I think that's pretty. Yeah, let me tell middle American working men to buy a neighborhood. And my dad didn't even mean to. It was kind of like it's a long story, but yeah, okay.
Might be but I think every person should decide for themselves. I don't know what, like, you know.
They should, but your dad's a Christian, correct? I could hear it, like, based off.
So now this is his worldview. His worldview is religion will solve everything. And so he's trying to put his worldview on my dad. My dad's not overly religious. He's really not. He's just a good person. You know, that happens.
He's doing. He's not a Christian?
I mean, he doesn't practice. Because
but he's a Christian.
He's not practicing.
He's a Christian.
He's not practicing.
But he is a Christian.
See, I knew. I was like, no, I don't want to be preached to today. Not today.
Well, it's Catholic. We're Catholic, but
sure.
He's not really practicing.
The point is, your solution that you provided, let me answer.
For him, it doesn't really come from God. He's just a practical.
No, it does, though. It does, because he's trying to continue the human race.
I want to believe, but
the solution you provided was...
I'll tell you what, I didn't say this during then. I loved my father, and I know my father loves us. I really do. Like, he does. But... I gotta be, my dad is not on this have as many kids as possible crowd. I'm gonna be so honest with you guys. I'm gonna be so honest. He did tell me once that he wished he had less kids, and I was a little bit offended. I was like, Dad, would I have made the cut? I'm in the middle. And he's like, well, he does love us, but I don't think he did it. I don't think he really thought about it. He was just working, loved his. I don't think he really planned this out. We just kept coming.
Being self-sufficient, having your own farm is protecting yourself for the future. Having a big.
By the way, we don't really have a farm. We just have chickens. I'm not gonna. We don't have a. It could be farmed. That's the point. It's like, but we are not farmers. I want to clarify. I don't have farm skills. I'm moving home this year, and I'm not even really looking forward to these chickens. I got to help take care of them. I'm not looking forward to it. I am not a farm girl. I'm not taking that.
Creating an environment that's not going to be able to the government can't take away. He is providing and preparing for the future and going to be resistant from any of the programming. He's going to be able to growing his own food. He has his own family. He's protected. He's armed. He is preparing for the future. That's what my solution is too. Instead of saying everything is fucked, this is the way it is. This is the way it is.
Apartment in Miami. What do you like?
Yeah, I'm building it. I'm creating wealth for the future, and I'm 25. I want to get married soon, right? So this is all.
Does he? Do you really want to? Can we just be real here? I wouldn't say his actions. No offense. Look like. So, okay, all right.
I'm building for the future. Instead of saying everything is doomed, this is fucked, like, because that's what you repeat a lot. This is fucked, this is bad, women are evil. I agree, Pearl, listen, I agree a lot of these women are evil, but what we should be doing is getting as much money as possible, being self-sufficient, not being able to be programmed by the government. Arm yourself and prepare for the future. You don't prepare for the future by listening to statistics that make you have a dooms mentality. You say things that are positive because you want to have a strong mind. If you have a weak mind, guess what you're not going to be able to do? You're not going to have your own neighborhood. You're not going to have all the guns that you have. You're not going to be able to pray to God. You're not going to be prepared for the future.
That's only if you're a weak person and you can't deal with reality. There's many people that can look at the stats, numbers, and statistics and can move accordingly. Just because you can't doesn't mean everyone else can.
Of course I can look. I can look at the stats, but
I'm a very happy person. I mean, I'm in a great, but I'm not.
Yeah, but your audience, like you create. My point is,
I'm not gonna go into the future blind and not see what's going on. There's gonna be a huge crash. It's gonna be devastating.
We know.
We cannot keep going like this.
I know. Most people are not going to make it, but we don't want to be of the people that are not going to make it. And by listing, my point is by listing all these things, like women are more violent. This is fucked. This. You create more of this like dooms mentality. My whole point is your rhetoric.
I mean, I think my life's going to be awesome. Enjoy the decline, baby.
Going to create more people that don't make it than people that.
Yeah, they said Sneako is a hope strategist. He needs positivity in order to function. I don't. Yeah, I could say this is going to shit, but my life's going to be good.
You're going to have more people like this is fun, that more people with a mindset that's kind of meaningless, and people are going to give up more by like, this is fun. They're not going to think, why should I try? They're going to think I should just give up because I'm fucked anyway.
I would disagree with you. I think it helps you prepare. Women are more violent, it's true. And because of that, men should be awarded custody most of the time. That's the conclusion I would come to. And I think when you repeat lies, you're part of the problem.
Who's repeating lies?
The people that say that women are more nurturing. It's not true. That's how we have sexist laws on the book, is because people believe
because women are not more nurturing. Okay, so this goes back to the question I asked earlier. Then if women are not nurturing, then what is the purpose of women?
I would say that what should it be, or what is it? Because that's two different things.
What should it be? What should the women's purpose be? Because I know what you think it is.
According to me, I would say we are happiest when our purpose comes from a man. That's what I would say.
Okay, and what do you think a man wants your purpose to be?
That's according to me.
Sure.
But you might say something else. Someone else might say something else. And I'm not a preacher. You can believe what you want.
It's weird because I hear you keep going about, you're saying what is and then what should be. And then when it comes to this question, you're like, this is what it's up to me. But then, okay, so if it should go to a man, what do you think a man wants his woman's purpose to be?
Now, the hardest part is, guys, we have air fryers now. We have Roombas. It's going to depend on the guy. It's truly going to depend on the guy. I see men that can cook nowadays. I don't see this men want cooking, yes, but I think they just want someone to be nice to them. Above all, I think that's like the number one thing men want. They just want you to like shut up, not argue, and be nice. Most guys are fine with the air fryer. With the guy, most guys have to feed themselves.
God, it depends on every guy. I know guys that.
Wait. So you're generalizing. Okay, you say women are more violent, and that's a general statement. And then I'll ask you like a basic truth, like what do men generally want the woman to do? And you're like, it depends on the guy. So it's either you generalize or you don't.
Well, I mean, it depends what the guy wants to achieve. Like, for example, I think
generally guys all want to achieve the same thing. We're not as different as you say we are, and I think you agree.
Now, the way I was thinking about this is, well, it depends on their job. Because if a guy's making $45,000 a year, he's going to say, buckle up, bitch, get a job. You know what I mean? Like, you don't think men, they're not attracted to money, but you sure as hell got to bring it if you marry a normal earning guy. Like,
that we all want to continue the human race. We all want to be happy. We all want to be self-sufficient. Men want to be strong and have families. Like these are general statements that now
I've met a decent amount of men these days that actually don't want children. So I could think of a couple off the one.
Yeah, and I've met a lot of guys that are faggots, but that doesn't make all guys like. See, you focus sometimes on the exception when it fits this doomer mentality, but not the general. Generally, like the whole reason that we exist is to create more people. That's our God-given purpose, right?
I disagree with this because most men did not reproduce. So. What? All the men that didn't reproduce in history had no purpose?
And look at the people that are following this black pill thing and think that we don't want to have kids.
Well, I think it's incredibly difficult to have kids in this environment because of how bad the laws are.
True, but what is our
Okay, so Sneako, I have a question. So one of your fans watches you, right? Yeah. And they take your advice. They get married young, or they get married, have kids, have a family, get a big family. After the last kids, she steals his children, takes his money. He's on the brink of suicide.
But that's not my advice. You're not saying that's not my advice.
He's going to argue with me and saying, because I said marry young and then I said wait, but my point was he said kid. He said kid. That was my point. I don't care about marriage.
I'm trying to correct you because that's not what I say.
Okay, go ahead. Okay. Do you think men should have children?
Yeah, of course. I think we should have a lot of children. And my prescription. I'm not arguing with you because
you argued that I was right. Okay.
No. You said get married. You said get married young. Hold on, because I know where you're going. You're gonna say.
You can just say fine. Do you think men should have children at some point?
Of course.
Okay, thank you. My God,
But you said get married young, and then you said they're gonna get screwed by the court, and the woman's gonna take everything.
Whenever they want to have children, You're saying have children.
Of course.
I've heard that.
Yes, you should have a lot of children.
See, that was arguing to argue. I swear to God.
No, because you said that we should get married and get screwed by the courts. That's not what I say.
Okay.
I didn't. He said he's mischaracterized. You should. I didn't say anything. Super PAC Political Action Committee. Well, how do I do that?
No, you don't even know what I say.
Wait. Let me finish. Sometimes I think you argue to argue and not to understand. And sometimes I feel
you're arguing against something I'm not saying. I'm not saying that. I've never.
But my point wouldn't differentiate whether he said marriage or kids. My point was about kids.
Trying to have children.
Yes.
Right? You did say that.
Yes, of course.
Let me finish. My God. Okay. So, if a man does that and gets put on $1,700 a month for 15 years and gets to a point where he's alienated. So the woman, this is, let's say me and you, I'm in your apartment, we have a kid, right? Then boom.
I shouldn't have said that. I knew, I was just using the example and then I knew he was going to be funny with it. I was like, no, freaking A.
Kid comes out. I can get a restraining order and say that ew, stop. Ew, stop. Okay, fine, someone else. But we get a kid, right? I can get a restraining order. Stop.
I was looking at chat, I'm not looking at you.
Stop. I'm like, freaking A. I can get a restraining order on you. I can. Are you paying attention?
Yeah.
Paying attention.
I am. You can get a restraining order, blah, blah, blah.
This is important.
I know where you're going with this.
No, it can really ruin men's lives.
Yes.
The last guy, he has another 10 years paying $1,700 a month. He hasn't seen his kids in 5 years. He spent $200,000 trying to get them back.
18 years.
See, he thinks it's fun. This is a serious, but they don't care. People do not care about men's issues.
No, but you think this is funny. You don't understand how many men commit suicide. There are more men committing suicide over this stuff than getting married every year.
Yeah.
That's how prevalent it is. Mm-hmm. There have been more men that have committed suicide over this than have fought in all of the world wars. All of the American wars. Mm-hmm. And it's like your lack of empathy for this stuff actually blows my mind.
My lack of empathy? I know that guys kill themselves.
If someone listens to you and does this, they're the ones that are going to be responsible, not you. That's why I say guys have to pick for themselves.
Okay.
Because I won't have blood on my hands. I won't. I've interviewed guys on the other end of this. You think it's funny?
It's not all thoughts that do this. It's Christian women, Muslim women. I've interviewed every religion.
It's not.
Wait, you think I have blood on my hands? Is that that's your point?
Yeah, because if you
So okay, he's laughing. So you can pull it down. I wanna break down. So I had, before I went on the Daily Wire debate, Dr. David Baker computed these numbers. Really, really smart guy. He's written The History of Sex, and he's just an expert at gathering numbers. Okay, so if you guys have questions on these, he's very responsive. You can DM him about it. I have another Venmo. Oh wait, I think I read it. Political Action Committee, you're doing enough. I'll start it. Did I read that? I don't remember. Let me pull up this. So I made a Google Doc of this for the Daily Wire marriage debate. Okay, so let's say we have 100 marriages. I took the most generous stats for the current divorce rate, and I built this. So this is... Okay, so if there are 100 marriages. Okay. And 50 divorce, okay? 15 of those divorces are obscenely malicious on part of the wife towards the husband. Child alienation, financial ruin, otherwise known as a punitive divorce. So 15% of the men that marry will have so if 100 men sign up for marriage, 15% will have child alienation happen and financial ruin. That's how, okay. 27.5 is that the man pays woman a lot of money where she can support herself and gets moderately frequent contact with the kids. Still tough, but not malicious. So out of 100 marriages, okay, 15 plus 27.5, 42 out of 50 divorces, you are paying the women a lot of money and not getting to see your kids like you used to. Do you think that's important to know going into it? Okay? Out of the 50, now mind you, these suicide stats are low. They're underreported because many times when men die from addiction because of this whole thing, or men die from, I don't know, financial, maybe they outdrink themselves. I had Terrence Popp on. He would talk about a men would drive 300 miles per hour on a motorcycle, die, or drown them. There's ways people commit suicide and it's not reported, but they're engaging in super reckless behavior like a bar fight and they die. 1 out of 50 will commit suicide. So out of 100 marriages, let's say 50 stay married, 50 divorce. There's 1 suicide amongst the 100. Would you take a pill? Would you guys take a pill where you had a 1 out of 100 chance of death? I would never take that pill. And by the way, I don't even tell guys not to take it. I say, know what you're signing up for. Let me see if there's any other stats. 80% of women gain 20 to 25 pounds within the first 5 years. So out of the 50 that stay married, there's an 80% chance your wife is going to gain 20 to 25 pounds. Now, is that important to know? Okay. 1 out of 3 marriages is sexless. So over the age of, say, 40, I think it's around 40 or 50, that number goes up. I think it starts at a quarter after 30, and then it goes up to a third in their 40s. It's something like that. That's important, right? the divorce timeline. So let's talk about what your odds are at what time. 35% of divorces are in the first 10 years. 35% of divorces are in the 11 to 20 year mark, and a quarter are after 20 years. So a lot of these people that had these happy marriages in their 20s and 30s, they still divorce after 20 years. I mean, isn't this important to know? And what they're going to do, they try to confuse you. And what they'll do is they'll cite studies, and I wrote down the studies that they always cite. Oh, wait, no, I didn't. I think it's a different part. But Match.com was invented in 1995, Facebook in 2005, the first iPhone 2007, Tinder was invented in 2012. Dating changed in 2012. Now, the other thing that tradcons do to confuse you is the body count stats from the CDC. In terms of lifetime sexual partners, the CDC reports that women have 4.3 lifetime sexual partners. One in the chat if you believe that, two in the chat if you think that's full of shit. Who would be happy in the chat? Put a 5 in the chat if you would be happy to marry a chick with 4.3 sexual partners. Most men, they think that's damn near a virgin. Okay, why is this what's coming out? One, this does not seem to match up with the experience of guys dating in Atlanta, Chicago, etc. The CDC includes women that are not participating in the sexual marketplace. This includes women with disabilities, mental and physical, STDs, etc. 27% are not participating. These women are not included in dating apps, going on dates, getting into relationships, etc. If we took out this 1/3, the body count number is going to be much higher. Women lie. In these studies, 67% of women admit to lying about body count. Only 3% of the population are virgins waiting for marriage. Okay. We also don't know what percent of these women are morbidly obese. I mean, what do you guys really think a chick 600 pounds? Do you guys even care if she's fucking or not? A 600-pound chick? I mean, who cares? No, you want to be with her. Let's see what other notes that are important. Let's see if there's anything else. But yeah, and so the other issue you get is a lot of these guys pushing marriage just aren't old enough to be a part of the statistic yet. So, like, we think about this. You know, Michael Knowles is in his 30s. Remember, I think he got married in his late 20s. Most people are statistics. So a quarter of divorces aren't going to be till 20 years. A third are in 11 to 20. So, you know, one of the Daily Wire guys is probably going to get divorced in the next, most people are statistics. Let me see what else. I want to see if there's other ones. Just the notes that I have. I just want to see if there's anything important. I'm sure there are, but it's, I don't have another thing that's like about marriage, but I'm trying to be honest. I don't have an agenda, marriage. I'm just trying to get to what's true. And so many people, they just want to push their religion. They want you to sign up for their religion. A woman getting divorced after 20 years is the stupidest shit ever. Yeah, but we all have the option to marry rich at 22 and none of us do it. We're stupid. So yeah, I think I might react to the rest of this debate a different day because it goes into like religion and whatever. But that's my point. Is I think it's irresponsible to push marriage without warning men what they're signing up for. And if you guys meet a good chick and you want to do it, go ahead. More power to you. I wish you well, but I don't predict it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. By the way, Sneako, if you see this, I had to cook you a little bit, but you know, all love, you know, good for the show, friend of the show, but I just got to be honest about this stuff. Like the video on your way out, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Ring that notification bell.